What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome. I'm Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show topic is Orgasm and Judgment. Orgasm and Judgment. How much are we using judgment to cut down and mutilate our sexuality and orgasm? What if you stop judging and start enjoying you and your body? Ooh, let's play with Access Consciousness tool to create and clear some of those judgments and create more orgasm in our life. When I say orgasm, some people cringe and some people light up. So which one are you? Which one lights up at the notion of orgasm, an orgasmic life, orgasmic sex, orgasmic relationship? Oh my God, I can hear people's judgment going on. How dare you say orgasm? How dare you talk about sexualness, sexuality? Ooh, let's bring it on. What if I tell you that for every judgment that you actually receive with no point of view, you can get more money? Wow. If you actually be in your sexualness, you can get more money. Money loves joy. Money loves sex. Because sex in this reality is about receiving. Sex is not, or at least not totally, is that quote unquote awful act. Because a lot of people think of it as awful. What if it's not? What if sex is totally beautiful, totally nurturing for you and your body? Ooh. I would like to do something, well, not so different for my show, but maybe for other shows. I want you to connect to the moment in time when you had orgasm, truly mind-blowing, body-blowing, somebody else blowing orgasm that you remember, or maybe not even remembering it in those 10 seconds. But I would like you to remember, even if you don't remember it. Just get it in your body. Get it in your body, that sense of orgasm. You might not even kind of like cognitively have that, but get it in your body. Anyway, just ask. The best mind-blowing orgasm I ever had this lifetime or another lifetime. Believe me, in other lifetime you definitely had it, even if you didn't have it this lifetime. And just contact that feeling, connect to that, and just have it in your body. Now I will ask you to connect to Earth. In that feeling of orgasm, in that sensation of orgasm, sensational orgasm, connect to Earth, to the planet, and expand that. Make yourself with that orgasm expand a mile, 1,000 miles, 100,000 miles. make yourself bigger than Earth and expand that orgasm in your body, beyond your body, beyond Earth. Whew. Just be present with that. And don't stop. Oh my God. Don't be afraid of that sensation. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to kill anybody in the world. So everywhere where you decided that your orgasm is something other than precious and nurturing and contribution to you, your body, and the world, would you destroy and uncreate that? Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, back and pot, all nine short boys and beyonds. And just expand even more into the whole universe. Let the whole universe nurture off your orgasmic sensation, orgasmic feeling, orgasmic being. Just be with that. And from that space, let's talk about orgasm and judgment. And yes, I did use the clearing statement that access consciousness use, which is right and wrong, good and bad, back and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And probably today I'm sensing I might be using much more in my show because I'm sensing a lot of judgment about orgasm. I'm sensing a lot of judgment in everywhere. And it's about being present with everything and everyone. And what I'm going to do right now is try to do again all the projection, expectation, and judgments and conclusion you have about everything that you decided that orgasm is, that's not. Will you destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, with that, back, all nine short, boys and beyonds. And again, all your judgment, conclusion of computation, projection, rejection, will you destroy and uncreate that? Right and wrong, good and bad, back and pot, all nine short, boys and beyonds. And with everything that you're not allowing yourself to have orgasm, and you're not allowing yourself to be present with orgasm, would you destroy and uncreate that? Right and wrong, good and bad, back and pot, all nine short, boys and beyonds. And how many lies do you have that's not allowing you to have orgasm? Will you destroy and uncreate that? Right and wrong, good and bad, back and pot, all nine short, boys and beyonds. And it's interesting. Usually I have very clear lines on my audio equipment. And somehow, when I'm talking about orgasm, I get a lot of noise. So what is that? How much noise of judgment do we allow in our body? Especially when we have sex and copulation, how much of that noise actually not allowing yourself to hear your body and the excitement, the enthusiasm that your body has when you're having sex? What if that's what's stopping you? And how much of that noise that you experience is actually other people's judgment in their head? Do you think your partner doesn't have a judgment in their head? And it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. And it doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman. It concerns every type of sex, man was a woman, woman was a man, woman was a woman, man was a man, or whatever sex you're having with yourself, if you have judgments, if you pick up judgment of other people when you're having sex, how much it diminishes your experience. Just allow that kind of like percolate for a second. Just look at all those judgments that are in your head right now about sex, about sexuality, about your body. Whew, wow, I'm getting dizzy with that. So what if you actually take all that judgment and let's start with somebody else's judgment. Oh my God. How much of your mother is in your head right now? Talking about how you're supposed or not supposed to have sex. And all her judgment. It's almost like she's watching you having sex, right? It might not be cognitive. It might not be conscious. But a lot of times, our parents in our heads, our friends in our heads, everything we read, everything we didn't read, everything we brought from other lifetimes. And how much you're supposed to enjoy sex if you have all those judgments? I wonder. So, how much of those judgments actually not yours? Yikes. And you're carrying those judgments for what fucking reason? Yeah, time to let it go. Would you send it back to whoever gave you those judgments? Again, who does that belong to? Would you send it back and destroy and uncreate everything you bought, everything you've created about orgasm, about sexuality? Mountains, right? But are you willing to move those mountains and let them be with whoever gave you those mountains? And just move away. Maybe you don't have to move the mountains. Maybe you can just move just a bit, a couple of steps away, and you don't have to carry that mountain with you. Whew. Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all 9 shorts, boys, and beyond. And it's time for our first break of the show. And I know you don't want to go on a break because you want to give more of those judgments up. But now you're not allowed. So when we return, we'll discuss more and maybe clear some more. You're listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. And we will be back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880 613-813-8255. Canada 613-800-8736. Or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show topic is Orgasm and Judgment. And before we went on the break, we were talking about all those judgments we have from other people and how many of those people sitting pretty much in our heads and telling us what to do, what not to do, how to do it, when to do it, why to do it. All of those things pretty much diminish our experience, contracts us, and also a lot of it has to do with all those judgments that we picked up, or we have our bodies, our sex, came from before. So how much enjoyment can you have from orgasm? I'm like right now looking at all those judgments. It's wonder we even have orgasm. So what if we actually let go of about 1% of that judgment? How much more enjoyment would we receive? I'm not even talking about 100%. I'm talking about 1%. Okay, maybe 2. Would you be willing to let go of that? Because, by the way, if you actually keep those judgments of what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, you have to always judge your experience in bed with orgasm. Was it a good orgasm? Was it a bad orgasm? How did I perform? Did they have a good orgasm? Did they have a bad orgasm? Oh, I might be a bad person if they didn't receive orgasm. Or did they fake it? Oh my God. All of those thoughts. How many of you have those thoughts in your brain? I know I used to. And yes, there is no bad orgasm. There is no good orgasm. It's just orgasm, orgasmic experience. And by the way, it doesn't have to relate to sex or copulation. It might relate to sex, but maybe not copulation, because sex is about receiving. So what if you actually allow yourself to receive, or at least receive more? How much more orgasmic energy can move your body? How much energy can you receive? And yes, faking an orgasm moves energy as well. Because the more you fake it, the more you get it. Interestingly enough, have you seen the movie When Harry Met Sally? With Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks, I think. I think it was Tom Hanks. Maybe not. Okay, I'm not going to lie. But anyway, when Harry Met Sally, there is a scene when she's faking orgasm in the middle of the diner when they're taking a road trip. And it's pretty much the woman next table was looking at her and asked the waiter, "I'll have what she is having." So what if orgasmic experience, Billy Crystal, yeah, thank you. It was Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. So with all of that, it's the experience of just being with energy of joy. You can have orgasmic experience swimming when the water is just nurturing your skin, your body, when you're swimming in the ocean with all the abundance of the experience of water, of the wind, of the air, of the sand, the sun. Just sense that. And again, how much of your judgment that you're not supposed to have orgasm when you're swimming, that it can only come from sex and only from copulation with a certain type of a person, that if you're a man, you have to have it with a woman, or a woman has to have with a man, or whatever you were brought up. What if you can have any sexual experience? No matter what, you're a man or a woman. By the way, if you're a woman and you refuse to have sex with a woman, and you're a woman, remember that. So can you actually enjoy masturbation? Or how much can you enjoy masturbation if you have judgment about having sex with a woman, even if that woman is you? Oh, and how many of you have judgments about masturbation? That it's not sex, and you can't have orgasm from masturbation, or you can have only orgasm with masturbation and never have with a partner. And all of that, are you willing to let go of that? Everything that is, we destroy and uncreate that. Right, wrong, with that, but on 9 shorts with it. By the way, man, it goes for you as well. If you have a problem having sex with a man, can you actually truly enjoy having sex with you? So what if you let go of all of those judgments and just be with the experience, with the feelings, with the sensation that you can have by nurturing your body? You can have orgasm when you're eating certain food. I seriously had orgasmic food in pretty much every place I traveled to, and even at home, as long as you don't have a judgment about food. But how many of us have judgments about what's a good food, what's a right food, and food that's supposed to be healthy? Oh my God. And you're not supposed to enjoy healthy food, by the way. That's what I heard. Healthy food is something that is totally tasteless, and you have to suffer through that. Maybe you never heard that, but I did. Being on so many diets, I pretty much ate a lot of shit. Maybe not in a traditional sense, but it was shit. And I wonder, okay, it was just internal monologue because it might have been shit. Somebody else shit it. But anyway, what if we actually enjoy our orgasmic experience and not have judgment? Whew. Just allow that to percolate through your body. I love when coffee percolates. It kind of makes that noise. And how many of us are afraid to make noise when we have orgasm? Just saying. Because when you make noise, energy moves more. What if you expand during orgasm? How much more energy can you receive and be? Just saying. Just allow yourself to expand now again. Because how many of you contracted when I started talking about orgasm with food, with the ocean or the water, or even taking a shower or taking a bath? Remember the last time you took a shower? Did you enjoy it, or was it just to cleanse and get out? That you're in a hurry to go to work? I'm actually very grateful to COVID because it's allowed us to slow down. A lot of people don't have to rush out to go to work. They can just roll out of bed and go to their computer and work like that in their pajamas. If you're one of them, maybe you can spare an extra 5 minutes or maybe a couple of minutes enjoying your shower or your bath in the morning or in the evening whenever you take it, and just allow the water to nurture you. Allow the water to slither over your body and just have that pleasure that orgasm allows us to have. Because we cannot talk about orgasm without pleasure. Because you have to receive pleasure. You have to be willing to receive pleasure. And you cannot have judgment about pleasure or receiving pleasure. Because if you do, nothing that doesn't match that judgment can come in. It's almost like the screen. And it's not semi-permeable. It's actually impermeable with just a few holes that you made to look outside and allow to receive. Because semi-permeable membrane a lot of times allows you to receive pretty much whatever. Well, actually that's true. That's a semi-permeable membrane definition. Because semi-permeable will allow only certain elements to go in. So how much you created your body as a semi-permeable membrane that only receive whatever you decided you can and willing to receive. And by virtue of that, a lot of what you decided you can receive is pain and suffering instead of pleasure. So what if it's not true? What if you can take off those barriers, or those semi-permeable membranes that allow only suffering to go in? And by the way, some of that suffering is a pleasure you're not willing to receive because it's so intense and it pushes against your barrier that it creates pain because it cannot come in. So would you drop your judgments for just maybe a millisecond? And we'll play with that in a second, because it's time for our second break of today. And after that, we'll see if we can drop those barriers for just a short period of time. And when we return, we'll speak more on that. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Helen Gitlevich, on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show topic is Orgasm and Judgment. And right before we went on the break, I invited everybody to drop your judgments about orgasm for just 10 seconds. What if you did that? And I am actually going to time you while I am talking. So what if you don't have any judgment of orgasm, starting right now? And what if you totally let go of your judgment, but only for 10 seconds? And then we'll pick it up in about now. Just pick up all your judgment about what orgasm, sex, pleasure, all of that. And now, would you drop all your judgments about all of this and just be present with your body? Just sense it. Allow your body to experience that pleasure that actually having a body is. And now, judge it. Please judge it as much as you can, with no stopping. And now would you drop it again? But just for 10 seconds, just for a few seconds. Don't judge it. Just experience your body fully. And now judge it again. Oh yeah, you can judge it. It's fat, it's thin, it's too thin, it's too ugly, blah, 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 blah. And now stop the judgments. Just allow yourself to totally experience the pleasure of your body. Just a few seconds. 2 more seconds. And now you can judge again. It's not easy to judge your body anymore, right? Because the moment we choose to drop the ball, and by the ball I mean the judgments, suddenly all those sensations coming in, at least for me, and experiencing that is actually orgasmic. What if just having the body? Because as a being, we're just energy. We're just floating around everywhere. And as a spirit, before our life and after our life, like when we die, we don't have, at least not this body. We will have some other body. And before we were born, we had other bodies, but maybe not this body. So what if this body is so orgasmic the moment we stop judging it? I'll repeat it again. What if we stop judging our body, it instantly allows us to experience orgasm in totality with our body just by not having the judgments of it and not having the judgments of our body. And anything that doesn't allow you right now to be that energy and allow that to go out in the world. Again, I ask you to connect to Earth, to our planet, to our pretty much the environment we live in. But it's more than that, because Earth is living being that has its own agenda, its own thing, but its agenda is to support us. It's a small rock compared to the whole universe, flying at unimaginable speed through space. And we are little ants, smaller than ants compared to the size of Earth. It doesn't shake us off. We're not flying off into space and dying. We are actually walking on this Earth. And some people judging, some people enjoying their life. So what if we stop judging our lives and start enjoying it and start being in communion with Earth, being in communion with each other? How much orgasmic experience can we have? And there is amazing tool of access consciousness. It's called fracking. It's what the oil companies do when they're trying to get to oil. They break down the hard surface of this planet so they can get to wherever they need to go. And what if those judgments is the hard surface of us? It's like a shell, like exoskeleton. What if we can frack it by using the insanity of this world, our own insanity, our own judgment, our pain? If you have any pain, if you have any judgments, if you have anything in your body that's uncomfortable, just take it in your hands like an energy bolt and frack that hard shell that's not allowing you to be all of you. Frack, 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 frack. Whew, I feel better. That's why I like doing those shows. This is about everything that I talk about. Majority of it is something that I either had issue with that, worked through that, or still have it. So by talking about it, by looking at the energy, a lot of times it shifts for me. And if you choose it, it will shift for you. So what if you actually chose something different? What if you chose to create more for you? By the way, next week's show will be what is one thing, the magic pill, the one magic pill that can change everything. And we'll be talking about that. What if that magic pill exists and that's a choice? What if you can choose more of you instead of having the barriers to everything that creates pleasure, that creates nurturing, that creates healing, that creates pleasure in your body, which is actually a definition of sexualness? What if you allowed that in your body instead of pain and suffering? What would that create in your body? Ooh. And my body immediately went into, yes, more please, more please. And I am choosing that. What about you? What if you can choose more of pleasure instead of pain? What if you choose orgasm instead of judgment? What if you let go of the judgment? Especially like we looked at that, majority is not yours. And or are you still going to hold on to your mother's, don't do that, that's not appropriate, good girls or good boys don't do that? Would you return that all back to whoever gave you those definition of good girls, good boys, bad boys? What if there is no good or bad? What if there is no right and wrong? What if there is just a choice? Oh yeah, that 6-letter dirty word, the swear word that nobody wants to hear. Because a lot of people say, I don't have a choice. And how much did you create that choiceless universe? And what if not having a choice is still a choice? And how much of not having a choice you chose based on other people's judgments? There is an amazing tool in Access. Who does that belong to? What if for the next 3 to 5 to 30 days, you play with that tool? For every thought, feeling, and emotion, there is even a free app that you can download on your iPhone or Android. Any smartphone store has that. It's called Access Consciousness. Who does it belong to? Very fancy name. Very hard to remember. Not. But that's my invitation. In order to get free of your judgments, what if it's that simple as asking a question? Who does that belong to? Because 99.99% of your judgments, you'll find out it's not yours. no matter how cute you are, and you decided that it's yours, it's not. Maybe 1%, if that, but just see how much more you can create with just asking that simple question. Who does that belong to? Especially if you wake up in the morning kind of like, ooh, yuck. And how much of that yuck is not yours? And how much of that yuck is your creation or invention? What if you could just let go of that yuck by asking, who does that belong to? And how much more orgasm can you have if you let go of all those judgments? I wonder. But don't do that. Don't ask that question. Don't do that exercise. Because that will actually create more of orgasmic life and living, more orgasmic food, more orgasmic experiences, and more orgasmic sex. Do you actually desire that? Or is it something that you're not allowed or does not deserve, or you've not been earning it through the pain and suffering? Did you suffer enough? What if it's just a choice? Or that's based on your karma, you still have to keep going and suffer. How much of Catholic religion or any Christian religion based on because Jesus suffered, so everybody else has to suffer? Jewish religion because we suffer all our lives, we're good Jews, so we have to suffer? Or any other nationality, or blacks or whites or reds or yellow or Chinese or blues, pink, whatever color, sex preference, race, nationality, religion you are, there is always an intrinsic judgment where we have to suffer. What if we can choose something different? Instead of continue with the suffering, we can choose it and say, fuck it, I'm just choosing joy today. Or at least maybe for 10 seconds. What if you chose joy and happiness instead of an orgasm, instead of pain and suffering, in 10 seconds increment? I know a lot of times it's hard because there are problems, and I empathize and sympathize with you guys, everybody who is in the turmoil and have problems and all of that. And yet, what if you chose, in the middle of the disaster zone, you chose 10 seconds of joy? You might go to the bathroom because everybody expects you to suffer, but maybe you can go someplace, maybe in a bathroom, and you say, okay, for next 10 seconds, I will have my 10 seconds of joy. I'll have my 10 seconds of orgasm. Just choose it now, for this 10 seconds. Okay, maybe you will do it after the break. Right now, it's time for our third and final break of the show. And when we return, we might discuss more of choosing the joy instead of pain, choosing orgasm instead of judgment. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Helen Gitlevich, on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Helen Gitlevich. I'm Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is Orgasm and Judgment. And I know before we went on the break, I promised to invite you to 10 seconds increments of joy and orgasm. But I've been yelled by my producer that I need to promote me and my services. So I will just give a little commercial that I do see people privately in a private session using all tools available to me, including Akashic Records and Access Consciousness, as well as anything that's available, because I'm also a Reiki Master, etc., etc. There is a long list of titles, and as I said, private sessions or the classes. I do facilitate classes around the world, and you can check the schedule. I have two websites. One is www.creatingabundancewithease.com, and the other one is helengitlevich.accessconsciousness.com. And right now, there is Access Bars and Foundation going on at July 16 will be a bars class. July 17 through 20th will be Foundation available online, so you can join anytime. And also, I'm doing facelift class in Chicago area on Sunday, July 12th. The other classes are in Chicago in August, will be another foundation and a body class. All of those classes available live and online. The only exception is facelift and the body class. Body classes are only live. You cannot, well, you probably can touch people long distantly, but that would not be a body processes. And all of those classes has changed totally changed my life. And a lot of things I'm talking about, I would not be able to talk about, especially orgasm and judgment. Are you kidding? Sex did not exist where I grew up. And sex was a taboo. Though I did experience orgasm in my life, but it was always probably still limited to the amount I allowed myself. So what if you could allow yourself for the next 10 seconds, just experience again that mind-blowing, totally out of this world orgasm that you ever had, and just allow your body to experience that again. And you can, by the way, because our mind is such an amazing instrument, or our being, whatever it is, it's the energy. If we think of something, we actually experience it. So if you think of the orgasmic, joyful experience, you can experience that. One of the examples I can tell you, think of a lemon and bite into it. Do you sense how much saliva actually was produced in your mouth? And Did you feel the sour taste? For me, it's pleasant because I love lemons. Some people might not. But what if you actually can experience orgasm just by thinking about it? Just allow it. And we are coming to the end of our show. Next week, as I said, will be, at least the topic will be, what is one thing, the one magic pill that can change everything? And it will be the same time on Wednesday at 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 o'clock Eastern, and I think 10 o'clock Mountain and 9 o'clock California or Pacific Time. And you can all see that on my Facebook pages, Helen Gitlevich. There is an Instagram, Helen_Gitlevich. There is Creating Abundance with Ease Facebook page. And I do go live on Facebook pages. I do free Zooms as well. Just join me. Let's talk more of creation of our body, creation of our lives, based on joy, based on ease, based on more of the abundance of the universe instead of all that yuck. And I just finished becoming Being You Certified Facilitator training. And by the way, I'm also Being You Facilitator, so watch and look for Being You classes starting probably in July online, because we are not allowed to do live classes. Well, they will be available live and online. But when we were doing our training and Being You class, Dr. Dane was talking about the yuck that we invent, that we create in our lives. And by yuck, it's all those problems, all those pains, aches, whatever you kind of like, yuck. So all of that yuck that we create, and a lot of times what we do, we think of abundance, but instead of creating abundance of ease, joy, and glory, we create the abundance of yuck. So what if we stop creating abundance of yuck and start creating abundance of orgasm, pleasure? Instead of creating abundance of judgment, what if we start creating abundance of just being present with ourselves and being total allowance of ourselves instead of the judgment? What if by just doing that, and again, asking who does that belong to? That's an amazing tool. Just for next 10 seconds again, just ask, who does this thought belong to? Who does this belong to? And you might not be even aware of the actual verbal component, because a lot of things that's going on in our body, in our being, in our brain are nonverbal. A lot of limitations are not verbal. And we'll be talking about that more next week. A lot of those things are energetic. So just ask, who does this belong to? And just allow it to dissipate. And again, who does this belong to? And allow this to dissipate. And we are on the last few seconds of our show. And if you have more questions, you can always contact me, either by emailing me through the website or contacting me on Facebook Messenger, Instagram, wherever you need to get hold of me. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in